Good afternoon. My name is Jin San Tang. This semester, I will teach the course Designing Security System. About me, I am a full professor in computer network and system administration, and also medical informatics. I got my PhD in telecommunications and electronics system. I got my postdoc training in medical image and health information system in Harvard Medical School and the National Institute of Health. I also have 2 years industry experience in Intel. My task in Intel is major work on mobile phone. I also have different research and teaching experience at UEA, Harvard, NIH, Alcon, MTU, and in Japan. Today I major introduce the syllabus, and also I hope you guys can do some survey. Okay, tell me your background so that I can design the course based on you guys' background. I know some people does not have good mathematics, so that's the important issue for me to know, so I can try to introduce some basic themes on mathematics this course lead. In fact, this course, the topic is more IT and also more medical based because we are medical informatics major. I know some students from data science are also taking this class. So I will introduce some basic themes on medical informatics if we lead. For this course, we do have a textbook, but the textbook is an option. In fact, you guys can get the online version here. Okay, you just click this link, then you get the whole content there. Also, in the library, we also have this book there. In fact, I borrowed the one from our library. But most the themes I will teach will not in this book. But I need you guys to read some chapter of this book. So we still need to access this book. I hope we can have a weekly discussion on Canvas from week 2 to week 13. Okay. For the weekly discussion, I will post 1 or 2 discussion questions at the beginning of each week. So every students are expected to participate in the weekly discussion, and you need to post at least 1 response every week. I will show the link in the future. Okay. So I also plan to use the Skype to teach you guys. That's my style I used in the past years. The major issue is that because some content is difficult to teach just by slides or record the videos. Sometimes I need to interact with you guys, especially for some difficult topics. So if you already used Skype before, that's very good. I will send you guys my Skype account name so you can connect with me. If you don't know how to use Skype, try to email me or call me so we can set some time to help you set up your Skype account. Also, I need you guys tell me your availability of the week. Okay, for example, what time is available for you? Generally, I hope we can use Skype to discuss from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So the best time is you guys to tell me the time is not good for you. Okay, it's not good for you. So I can select the time. It's good for everybody. The Skype session generally is about 20 to 40 minutes. Depend on the topic. Also depend on how long we discuss. Also, I hope everybody can finish a short survey on the Canvas assignment. I will put the survey there, okay? So the reason I put the survey there because I still don't know anything about you guys, especially what kind of courses have you guys taken? Have you guys taken security courses or not? Have you guys take some medical informatics course and so on? I need to know your background so that I can design the course suitable for you guys. Okay. The objectives for this course, there are 4 objectives. The first one is you guys to understand the policy for the security. Okay, that's more important. The second one is mechanisms. Generally, the mechanism means the technology we will use for security. Also, we need to understand attacks. Okay, for example, the malicious code, protocol failure, and so on. We will use some case to analyze the attacks. Also, the 4 things we need to understand the assurance. That means how do we know when we are done? Okay, that's important. How do we make this into a proper engineering discipline? That means how you use this kind of things when you design a security system. That's the core things we need to know. So the course description will be as follows. First, we will provide an overview of techniques used in the design of the security system. For example, for the cryptography, okay? Also for the biometrics, what kind of algorithm we use. That's the first thing. The second thing is also, I hope the students can examine the attacks on deployed system and investigate how these vulnerabilities have been addressed. I will show some real cases, okay? Some cases in real world. Also, we need to investigate the practical advantages and shortcomings of several notions of provable security. Okay, that's the third thing. The last important thing is because you guys are graduate students, so you are expected to read, understand, and present recent research papers. So that's very important because this is not an undergraduate course. For undergraduate course, perhaps I just teach the stuffs, then the students just learn. But for you guys, it's a little different. You need to read paper, understand the paper, and present the paper. In fact, I list here some contents here. The first one we will teach something about software engineering, because for the security system generally it's related to the software. Okay, so we need to talk about some major things related to software engineering. For example, why some software is fail. Okay, why some software is successful. Then also I introduce the security in engineering. Okay, the basic concept on the security. Also, what about the security system? How to design the security system? Okay, there are more topics. All of these things relate to the security engineering. Okay, for example, multi-level security, monitoring, and multilateral security, security models. These kind of things, all of this belong to the security engineering. In fact, there is some advanced topic I list here. For example, machine learning in cybersecurity, basic themes of cryptography. Also biometrics, for example, face recognition, fingerprint recognition. All of these kind of things can be used for security system. Okay. Because we are medical informatics major, so also I will talk something about the technology consideration to build a secure e-health care information system. Okay. For the cameras, I hope you guys know how to use the cameras, because this is a naive question, because in MTU I think everybody know how to use it. I will put everything in the cameras. Okay. So when you guys come to this course, okay, you can see the page here. Okay, so I will put everything in the all page here. Okay, for example, I will put the lecture 1 here. For example, lecture 1. Okay, lecture 1. I put lecture 1 here. Okay, introduction to course. Okay, I will put this kind of stuff here. Okay, so I will put some PPT and video records here, so you can read the PPT and also you can watch the video here. Okay. Now let's go back to the slides. Okay. So for the other students, I require you should have pre-knowledge of the following topics, okay, before taking this course. Basic security knowledge, that's important. Also, basic medical informatics knowledge, okay. The third is basic programming skill. I'm not sure what kind of language, program language you guys know, but any language such as Java, C, MATLAB, that should be okay for this course. I will put some projects, need you guys to write some programming. Okay. I also think about whether I will teach some basic themes on the MATLAB, because for the biometric themes, we perhaps need the MATLAB. Okay. So for the course evaluation, for the weekly assignment, it's about 30%. Also, we have 2 course projects. Okay, each of them is 10%. So we have total 20%. We have a midterm exam is 20%, and the final exam is 30%. The grade scale, okay, the grade scale generally is like this one, okay. If you guys is more than 90, that will be A. 85 to 90 will be AB, and also 80 to 85 B, and 75, 80 will be BC. Okay, I just follow this kind of. So why do we need to design a secure system? The major issue, if it's not a secure system, that's easy to cause the attack. In fact, there are many sub-attacks in the past. I will list some of them. Also, then I let you guys watch some YouTube video to know the in past 10 famous sub-attacks. One of the sub-attacks is Robert Morris, and also the Morris worm. That's happened in 1988. In fact, Morris is a student at Cornell University. Okay. In fact, he created the first computer worm transmit through the internet. The damage for this worm, there were 6,000 computers were repeatedly affected. Okay, cost about $10 to $100 million in repair bills. The second event is called Mafia Boy. In fact, Mafia Boy's name is Kausa. Okay. In fact, he was a Canada high school student. He launched a DDoS attack on a number of high-profile commercial websites, including the Amazon, CNA, eBay, and Yahoo. The cost for this attack is about $1.2 billion US dollars. So that's big money. Another attack is the teenage hacks the NASA and the US Defense Department. That happened in 1999. At that time, the boy called Jonathan James, he was just 15 years old. In fact, he invented a computer of US DoD and installed a backdoor on his server. So this allowed him to intercept thousands of intel emails from different government organizations. This kind of email included the username and password for various military computers. He used this stolen information. Okay? Then he was able to steal a piece of NASA software, which cost the Space Exploration Agency $41,000 US, as the system was shut down for 3 weeks. But most important, the software is very valuable, purported to be worth $1.7 million. This software, in fact, is used to support the International Space Station's physical environment, include control the temperature and humidity within the living space. So that's very important software. In 2009, there is a hiker from Miami. He was responsible for one of the biggest fraud cases in US history. His name is Gonzalez. In fact, he sealed tens of millions credit card and debit card numbers from over 250 financial institutions. He had hacked the payment card network from companies including the 7-Eleven convenience store chain. That happened recently. Also, in 2013, Adobe announced in October 2013 a massive hacking of his IT infrastructure. And there were 2.9 million accounts of personal information was stolen. This information included the logins, passwords, names, credit card numbers, and expiration dates. Also, another file discovered on the internet later brought the number of accounts affected by the attack to 150 million. Okay? But only 38 million active accounts. So that's much bigger number. In 2014, there is a South Korea hack events. In fact, there is 100 million credit cards was stolen, okay, over the course of several years. In addition, 20 million bank accounts had also been hacked. Because of the fear of having their bank accounts emptied, more than 2 million South Korea had the credit cards blocked or replaced. The reason caused this hacker because there is an employee in KCB. He just stole this kind of information, okay, because he was working as a consultant, okay. Then he can just copy the data to an external hard drive. Then he resold this kind of data to some external company, okay. In 2014, the IT security company called Hold Security revealed that Russian hackers had stolen 1.2 billion logins and passwords on 420,000 websites around the world. And this could potentially have allowed the group of hackers to access 500 million email accounts. Okay, that's very, very big numbers. Interesting thing is Yahoo became the favorite target by hackers. Based on Yahoo's report in 2014, a hack attack in this year affected 500 million user accounts, and their names, date of birth, and telephone numbers and passwords were stolen. Prior to this event, in 2012, the hacker piece had sold 200 million usernames and passwords for $1,900. There are more hacker themes. In fact, we have YouTube to show the most dangerous hacker in history. I just need you guys to have
dangerous hackers in history. 10. Jonathan James. At the age of 15, child prodigy Jonathan James hacked into basically everything he could, from the Florida-based Miami-Dade school system to the US Defense Threat Reduction Agency, who was supposed to protect the country from weapons of mass destruction. He even found a way into NASA systems, stealing $1.7 million worth of software which could control the physical environment of the International Space Station. As a result, NASA was forced to shut down their system for 3 weeks, which cost $41,000. This national security breach wasn't taken lightly, and in 2000, James was arrested and convicted on 2 counts of juvenile delinquency. His sentence: 6 months house arrest, probation until the age of 18, and a written letter of apology to NASA. He was on the government's radar from then on, and in 2008, James's house was raided when he was suspected of taking part in another series of hacks. But the possibility of being jailed for a crime he claimed he hadn't committed evidently spooked James, and he killed himself, despite not having actually been arrested for the crime. 9. Matthew Bevan and Richard Price. A mentor is supposed to take you under their wing and show you the ways of the world. But instead, 16-year-old Richard Price was shown the dark side of the Matrix when he and his 21-year-old mentor Matthew Bevan committed a series of hacks against government agencies. Together, they hacked the United States Air Force, NASA, and NATO, copying battlefield simulations and trying to find evidence of UFOs. In addition, the pair hacked into the Korean Atomic Research Institute database and copied the information onto the United States Air Force systems. The US didn't know who had given them the information and were concerned that if North Korea found out, they could accuse them of spying and potentially threaten war in return. Luckily, the data was South Korean, meaning any potential tension could have been easily de-escalated. The pair got off lightly, with Price fined $1,500. By the time Bevan's case came to court, the lack of evidence against him led to a full acquittal. 8. Edward Mazurchik. Do you remember the nude photo leak in 2014, wittily referred to as Celebgate or the Fappening by 15-year-olds with sticky palms? Well, this was down to several figures, including Edward Mazurchik. The serial hacker cracked the iCloud and Gmail accounts of hundreds of celebrities in order to obtain nudes for his personal use. But this didn't last long, and these nude images found their way onto the internet for everyone to see. The photos made headlines worldwide and caused a fair amount of concern over the security of people's private data. It seemed that hackers were able to break into iCloud accounts with a simple email address. Mazurchik was convicted of the hack in September 2016 and took responsibility for the invasion of privacy. It is thought he will face a 9-month prison sentence. 7. Gary McKinnon. British citizen Gary McKinnon has been called the most dangerous hacker in history after being accused of hacking 97 United States military and intelligence systems over a 13-month period, starting in 2002. On one network alone, he caused 2,000 computers to be shut down, deleting weapons logs and other important files. During another hack, McKinnon got straight to the point and left a message, "Your security is crap," on the US military's website. According to McKinnon, this campaign of messing with the Americans was largely to do with his attempts at trying to find evidence of UFOs.
I found what I was after. I found evidence of UFOs and the fact that NASA covered them up.
After hacking into NASA websites, he claimed to have found images of extraterrestrial spaceships.
It had no sort of seams or rivets. It didn't look man-made at all.
He also claimed that he'd uncovered an Excel spreadsheet detailing the names of non-terrestrial officers who work in the US Air Force, as well as the details of a space program named Solar Warden. He was eventually detained in 2002 when an American grand jury indicted him and called for his extradition. However, he wasn't handed over, and 10 years later, the British government threw out the case against him. 6. Guardians of Peace. In the autumn of 2014, Sony Pictures announced the planned release of their latest comedy, The Interview, in which Seth Rogen and James Franco come up with an elaborate plot to kill the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un. But before the film could be released, a group calling themselves Guardians of Peace demanded that Sony pull The Interview from upcoming screenings. They revealed that they had hacked Sony's system and stolen information, including 47,000 social security numbers and a whole series of embarrassing emails. These purportedly revealed Hollywood secrets and celeb gossip, including an email by Hollywood producer Scott Rudin in which he called Angelina Jolie a minimally talented spoiled brat. Not content with just embarrassing Sony, the Guardians of Peace went on to release malware on Sony systems and even threatened to commit terrorist attacks at film screenings if the interview wasn't canned. While the US formally accused North Korea of the attack, there are those who say that it's too convenient. The hackers have never been caught. 5. Carl Koch. Now to the dark days of the Cold War. Carl Koch was a German computer hacker during the 80s who associated with a group called the Chaos Computer Club. This group of renegades would hack into US government computer systems and steal information and source codes to sell to the Soviet security agency, the KGB. On their hit list was NASA, as always, the US Chief of Staff's databank, and the Max Planck Institute for Nuclear Physics. In 1989, the West German authorities discovered this espionage and Koch, along with the other members of the club, began to cooperate, confessing to their crimes with the promise that they wouldn't be prosecuted. Koch was found burned to death in a forest near Seal in Germany. The death was officially ruled as a suicide, but numerous conspiracy theorists believe he was killed by either the German state or the KGB to prevent further cooperation. 4. Kevin Mitnick. Kevin Mitnick became the poster boy for hackers everywhere when in the early 90s he hacked into nearly everything, including Nokia, Motorola and IBM. But in 1993, after making one hack too many into telephone service company Pacific Bell, the FBI began investigating him. This manhunt was widely publicized and Mitnick went on the run for 2.5 years. He was eventually caught in 1995 and served 5 years in prison. The court found him so threatening that for 8 months of his sentence, he was placed in solitary confinement. Law enforcement had convinced the judge that he could start a nuclear war by whistling codes into a payphone. No longer considered an international threat today, Mitnick uses his powers for good and works as a cybersecurity advisor for several of his former targets, including IBM and the FBI. 3. Albert Gonzalez. Even those hacking for the right side of the law can go rogue. In 2003, computer hacker Albert Gonzalez was working as an administrator for the website shadowcrew.com, which held auctions for stolen credit card information before he was arrested by the Secret Service. On his arrest, he began cooperating with the authorities and, thanks to his information, they put away nearly 30 of his fellow hackers. But despite his cooperation with the Secret Service, from 2005 to 2007, Gonzalez is believed to have been the ringleader in a hacking operation that stole approximately 175 million credit card numbers. That takes balls, as does going with the 50 Cent inspired operation name Get Rich or Die Trying. During his spree, it was rumored that he threw himself a $75,000 birthday party and that he once complained about having to count $340,000 by hand. The total amount of money stolen from the victims remains undisclosed, but in 2010, Gonzalez was eventually caught and sentenced to 20 years in prison. 2. Cutting Sword of Justice. The Cutting Sword of Justice, as they call themselves, is a group of hackers whose stated goal is to oppose several Arab states including Egypt, Syria and Saudi Arabia. So far, they've only picked on one group though, Aramco, Saudi Arabia's national oil company. In 2012, the Cutting Sword of Justice released a virus worm called Shamoon. Shamoon damaged 30,000 computers by searching for files in specific directories and deleting them, causing a massive headache for Aramco and placing 10% of the world's oil supply at risk. Why is this dangerous? Well, one of the main states suspected of being behind the Cutting Sword is Iran, which suggests that these hackers are just a few codes away from further escalating tensions in the Middle East. 1. Astra. Back in 2008, when the world was slowly sliding into the economic abyss of the credit crunch, a 58-year-old unidentified Greek mathematician was arrested in Athens under suspicion of conducting potentially one of the most damaging hacks ever. The hacker, going by the name Astra, allegedly hacked into the French military contractor Dassault and spent 5 years stealing sensitive weapons technology information. According to Greek officials, Astra caused more than $360 million worth of damages to Dassault, but Astra's mischief doesn't end there. He then set about selling the information, which contained intelligence on military jets used by India, Egypt and France, for $1,000 a pop to anyone who wanted it. Astra has never been officially identified, but security analysts have said that the culprit was an insider who gained illegal access. For his crimes, he was sentenced to 6 years in jail.
Okay, that's the YouTube video to show the most dangerous hackers in history before 2017. In fact, based cyber security statistics I got from the online, we will found the security issue is very serious. In fact, in 2016, the US government spent a whopping $28 billion on cybersecurity, and this is expected to increase in 2017 and 2018 because this year the amount is still not come out. Okay. According to the Microsoft, the potential cost of cybercrime to the global community is mind-boggling $500 billion, and the data breach will cost the average company about $3.8 million. And also, according to the data from Juniper Research, the average cost of a data breach will exceed $150 million by 2020. In fact, I also get another statistics from the website. That's not the statistics. That's the proposed federal spending by the U.S. government on cybersecurity for select government agencies during financial year 2019. Okay, if you guys see here, the proposed spend for the Department of Defense is this number is $8,497. For the Homeland Security also it's very big. For the Department of Justice also it's $721.4 million. Okay, so that's you found the expense on cybersecurity. It's very big. Okay, so that's the introduction of the course. I hope you guys can go through to understand the slides. Also, there is some online statistics. For example, this one you can go to find some more information. Okay.